Good evening. On behalf of INTACH Chennai chapter, a very warm welcome to Dr. Prashanth Kulkarni, our respected speaker of the evening, and welcome to each one of you in the audience. Just a brief about INTACH. The Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage was founded in 1984 with the vision to spearhead heritage awareness and conservation in India. Today, INTACH is recognized as one of the world's largest heritage organizations with over 200 chapters across the country. In the past 38 years, INTACH has pioneered the conservation and preservation of not just our natural and built heritage, but intangible heritage as well. To quote a UNESCO report, our generation has inherited a wealth of tangible and intangible cultural resources that embody the collective memory of communities across the world and buttress their sense of identity in times of uncertainty. Held in trust for humankind, these resources are non-renewable. Our mission at INTACH is to dedicate ourselves to the conservation of India's heritage that's essentially non-renewable. Our objectives are to create and stimulate an awareness among the public for the preservation of the heritage of India, to foster heritage-sensitive values and respect for Indic knowledge and traditions, to undertake measures for the preservation and conservation of natural resources and cultural property, including geological features having high archaeological, historic, artistic, or scientific value, which are not protected either by central or state statutes, to undertake documentation of cultural and natural heritage, to act as a pressure group by influencing public opinion when any part of our cultural or natural heritage is threatened with imminent danger, damage, or destruction arising out of private or public policy or any other manner, to promote the preservation of traditional arts and crafts and to ensure their authenticity and identity, to act as a culture bank for providing technical and intellectual assistance towards the preservation of cultural and natural resources and heritage. Today, we bring focus on a fascinating facet of our heritage, Indian coins. And we dedicate this talk in memory of Mr. Hemachandra Rao, numismatist in Chennai, who set up a maritime museum in Madras and who passed away recently. When there's any ordinary transaction and we handle money, be it the humble 1 rupee coin or a 500 rupee note, we probably don't realize the hoary history behind that note or coin that evolved from megalithic times to the Gupta era, from the imperial era to the period of independence and to the modern times. Today, we are indeed privileged that Dr. Kulkarni is here with us to trace this journey. I'm honored to introduce him. Renowned numismatist, Dr. Kulkarni is a chartered accountant by profession. Pursuing his passion at the age of 50, he delved into doing a master's in ancient Indian history, culture, and archaeology, and a decade later was awarded a doctorate from the Nagpur University for a thesis on ancient coinage of Vidarbha. On coins, he's written about 120 research papers, 2 monographs, Mughal coins and mints, and Ashwamedha Yajna and coins, and several books on numismatics, including Coinage of the Bhonsla Rajas of Nagpur, Bibliography of Indian Numismatics, and Coinage of the Godavari Valley. The Numismatic Society of India Varanasi, situated within the Banaras Hindu University, bestowed upon him the Nelson Wright Medal and the Desikachari Medal. Founder, trustee, and chairman of the Indian Coin Society, Dr. Prashanth Kulkarni, was editor of its journal Nidhi, co-editor of the Journal of Numismatic Society of India from 1992 to 1994, the vice president of the South Indian Numismatic Society from 1991 to 1992, and vice president of the Numismatic Society of India, Varanasi, from 2018 to 2021. Well known for his scholarship, he was appointed sectional president for the 11th International Numismatic Congress at Brussels. He has been awarded the honorary fellowship of the Oriental Numismatic Society of Great Britain. He has given talks at the British Museum, UK, Oriental Numismatic Society in Germany, Oriental Numismatic Society of America, New York, National Museum of Sri Lanka, the India International Center in New Delhi, the Prince of Wales Museum, Bombay, and the Asiatic Society in Bombay. Today, INTACH Chennai chapter is indeed honored that Dr. Kulkarni is here. Thank you, sir, for taking us through the saga of Indian coins of 2,500 years. Over to you, sir.
Oh, thank you, Sujata ji. What an introduction. Yeah, I am overwhelmed. And I thank very much to the INTACH, the Chennai chapter of INTACH, for giving me this opportunity to present this talk. And so many enlightened people have joined already. Yes. Enlightened and beautiful also. So I'll just come to the subject immediately. I think English is a good language to communicate. So I will speak in English. As we know, the coinage, coins and currency is the most important thing in our life. Without money, nothing works nowadays. So when did the money really start? There was an opinion long ago, about 200 years ago, that the coinage in the world began in Lydia, in the Central Asia. And that was about 700 BCE, about 700 years before our current era, which was almost 2,900 years ago. But then Chinese came and they said they were the earliest ones. Now, if we look at India, the exact evidence we get about the earliest coin is only in the 4th century BC from the Chaman Huzuri hoard. This was a place in Pakistan where coins were found, benchmark coins were found, and they were found together with datable coins of the Greeks. So from that, we get a firm date of 4th century BCE. So that's where definitely Indian coins started. But now we are getting evidence showing that some coins are coming with megalithic symbols on them. So the megaliths in India began about 1000 BCE. That is about 3000 years ago. And it continued up to 300 AD. So we don't get an exact date, but there is a big theory now coming up that India could be the earliest to make coins and give that knowledge to the world. So I will come to the slide presentation. I will show you how it worked. Before coins began, what happened was, if somebody had 2 rabbits and he wanted to have, and his friend had two other objects, then what will he do? If his friend had 2 fish and he had 2 rabbits, what will they do? They will swap 1 rabbit with 1 fish so that both can have each of them. So this was called as barter. This is called as barter. This barter system was prevalent from very old times. we can say it could be prevalent from the Paleolithic period, when the tools, the Acheulean tools and all those stone objects would have been exchanged for something. So barter was the first money in the world. Now we get some Vedic references where some barter was happening. So I will show you the slide. I'll show you a picture. I'll share the screen now. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you can see this. Yeah. F5. Oops. I'm unable to get a full screen. Anyways, I think this is visible to everyone. So here is a rishi seated and he is talking to a king and he is saying, this verse is from Rig Veda. It says, Ka imam dashabhir mama indram krinati dhenubhihi, which means, will you give me 10,000 cows in exchange of my Indra? So the rishi has an Indra idol and he is asking the king, will you give me 10,000 cows in exchange of my Indra? So this is the earliest reference to barter. So here the idols could take the place of money, and this is from Rig Veda. So what happened in the Paleolithic age? Say 100,000 years ago. Years ago or more than that, the Paleolithic age begins in India like 125,000 years ago. So there were these tools, the copper tools and the stone tools also. The copper tool, of course, came very late in the copper age, and they could have been exchanged as a medium of exchange for money. These are the weapons used by primitive man, which were very, very most probably used as money in those days. If somebody had so many weapons and he had no food and his friend had some food, some meat with them, then obviously there would be an exchange. In modern period, in the say about couple of 100 years ago, we find lots of coin necklaces just like this. We find lots of coin necklaces. So such necklaces were also prevalent during the Vedic period. About 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, such necklaces were prevalent. And they had a proper name called as Nishka. The Nishka was traded. So there are many, many references in all the Vedas where it says that Nishka was a very adorable thing and it was exchanged and it was given as gifts and it was also used an ornament. So ornaments were one of the most important thing for exchange, just like ear ornaments in this figure. You can see these nice ear ornaments. When I was a kid, I went to a tour and I had some elderly people with me, and I remember that we ran out of money. So one of our elder uncles said, I will give my chain. I will give my gold chain and we will have money from that. We will have food with that. So any gold chain or gold object or any ornament was always used as a medium of exchange. So these ear ornaments look very beautiful. Yeah, that's a beautiful female from Ajanta. And look at her ear ornament. And here are ear ornament from Sanchi. And here are some real ear ornaments, which are found in excavations in archaeological context. They are circular, they can be put in the ear, and there is a definite proposition that they were also used as money. There were more decorative specimens of these also, more decorative shapes. This was called as a Makara shape. It is congruent with the letter M of Brahmi, so it is called as Makara. But it is also a sign of Vrishabha, which is a symbol of prosperity or growth. So when did the real coins came into picture? We find some coin-like objects in the Buddhist caskets, very, very tiny gold objects in Buddhist caskets of about 500 BCE. So here are the first ones. They are little coins. They come from the area of Kushinagar, Uttar Pradesh, UP, and Bihar. So these were the earliest Indian coins, and we can call them as Vedic money, belonging to almost 500 to 600 BCE. In Vedas, we always find the names like Hiranyapinda, Hiranyachurni. Hiranyapinda means Hiranya is gold, Pinda is a globular object. So gold itself was used as money, and it was tied to the horns of the bulls and given as dakshina. So we find examples like 10,000 coins and 10,000 cattle were given away as dakshina by so-and-so king. There was a king called Devidasa. He gave 10,000 cows as dakshina. So cows were also money. And these small objects, some of them must be definitely money. There were also beads of various kinds. And they formed the necklaces, and it could be a poor man's money. What was one of the most important objects named as money was the cowrie shell. The cowrie, or kavdi as we call in vernacular language, was definitely used as money. You must have heard that phrase in Hindi where they say, "Mere paas futi kavdi nahi hai." Means I don't have even a broken cowrie shell. So the cowrie shells were definitely used as money, and they were used right at the beginning of the 20th century also. Straight from the ancient period to the beginning of 20th century, cowrie shells were definitely used. And here come some objects. Here on the left is a nice bead from an excavation at Adam in Vidarbha, and it had a each bull picture on it, and similar pictures are found on coins from the same region. So these are the punchmark coins. Basically, they belong at least to 500 BCE. That is 2,700 years ago from now. And this is a better looking coin. Now it is looking more like a coin. This comes from Krishna Bhima Valley, from a place called Vai in Maharashtra. And this is an enigmatic coin. It is so beautiful that scholars always think that if anything is in ancient period, if it is very artistic and beautiful, then it has to belong to Greek or Roman art, because they think Indian art was not that great during 600-700 BCE. But that's not truth. There are very, very beautiful artistic objects in our country also, right up to 1000 BC. So this is a Janapada coin belonging to Kuntala Janapada, attributed by many scholars, right from Dr. O. Codrington to Dilip Rajgore and Michael Mishner. Everybody attributes it to Kuntala Janapada. The modern scholarship says that it belongs to Krishna Bhima Valley area, and we really don't know who were the kings issuing it. So these are heavy coins of about 7 to 8 grams, 6 to 7 or 8 grams, and they were prevalent in Maharashtra. After that, the Greeks attacked India and ruled some portions of it in the northwest. So we also find Greek coins. These are coins of Antiochus. The name on the coin is written as Antiochus, but we know that they were definitely issued by the ruler named Diodotus of the Greek origin. And many of these coins were found in northwest India, but a large hoard was found in Vaishali in Uttar Pradesh. So many of them traveled throughout India and they were circulated as value for money. So what happens with Indian coins? The Indian coins look something like this, and they are called as punchmark coins. This is a famous Indian gold punchmark coins, which belongs to at least 3rd 300 BCE. It's a bit later because it belongs to an area called as Ujjaini. I remember one of my friend Raju Bhatt had an opinion on this. I think he has joined the meeting, so I feel very happy to take his name. So
Very sorry to interrupt.
yeah.
We have one of the audience members who's requesting you to go full screen with the presentation.
How do I do that? I'm unable to do it full screen. What do I press?
Sir, if you see at the bottom right corner, you will see there are 4 little icons. Yes. Please press on that, sir. The one that you've just kept your arrow at. Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, thank you for the technological help. Yeah. Right. So here is that ancient gold coin from India. And I would say this is one of the earliest Indian gold coins from 300 BCE to 400 BCE. And these are coins from Magadha, and they are much, much older. They are about 600 BCE. The modern scholarship, the European scholarship dates them only to 400 BCE, but Indians definitely have evidence showing that they belong to 600 BCE. So these coins, because some of the coins also came out from excavations, similar coins, and they have given us a carbon dating from the objects which were found with the coins in the excavation. They have given us a carbon date as 500 BCE plus minus 150. So it could be anywhere between 650 BCE to 350 BCE. So here is a coin with 5 different marks. And the very important mark in this is, one mark here is the Shiva Lingam. So this is the earliest representation of Shiva Lingam on any object in archaeology other than the one found in Harappa and Mohenjo-daro as the Pashupati-natha tablet. So we find the Pashupati-natha tablet in Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, which is about 5,000 years ago. And after that, we find only this coin, which shows Shiva Lingam in about 600 BCE. So this is one of the very early representation of Shiva's form in the Lingam style. And here is you can see something like a dress or a man, you can see, which is looking upside down. It has no head. So why would somebody put a man without head on this coin? That was a big mystery. So I postulated a theory saying that if somebody wanted to show a man on the coin, they would draw a complete image of a man. If they wanted to show a dead man, then how do they show that the person is dead? There is no way of making a representation of that on the coin in that early period. So they just removed the head, showing that the person is, it's a corpse, it's a dead man. So I would call it Shava. So here is Shiva and here is Shava. So both come together. So here are our coins, which are not only very early, but they also tell us about our socio-religious aspects. So very, very important Indian coins from Magadha region. At this period, the rulers that were reigning there were Ajatashatru and his family. Yeah, similar coins, but better looking ones. They started being minting from Avanti area, near Ujjaini and Indore. And they also belong to about 500 BCE. In Vidarbha area, more ornate coins came, like you can see the 3 elephants revolving, walking around each other, playing, and there are 2 bulls with the yoke. So this shows the agricultural economy. So elephant is the symbol of mightiness. So this is a coin of the mighty empire of Vidarbha, where agricultural economy progressed. Here are some varieties of similar Panchmark coins found in Kashi and Panchala area. So many different coins called as this Janapada Panchmark coins came to existence in India. Some can be definitely attributed to certain Janapadas like the Gandhara or some particular ones, but there were no inscription on them. So we cannot say that they definitely belong to one, a particular king. But the Janapadas can be confirmed and some can be attributed to that particular riverine valley system. Like some can be the coins on the river Ganga, some can be coins on river Godavari, like that. Then came copper coins. These are found all over India, and this is a 3-arched hill with crescent. It has 3 arches, and reverse is called as a hollow cross. So these are found in different sizes and shapes all over India, and their period is also a matter of dispute. There is a conscience saying that they belong to about 300 BCE, but many scholars belong that they could be much earlier. So this 3-arched hill is also found on Mauryan coins, and it is postulated that they were struck by the vassals of the Mauryan Empire who traveled all over India and spread the coinage. The coinage definitely was spreaded by Mauryan Empire throughout India due to their military campaigns. Yeah, and these are some cast copper coins. Elephant was the most important symbol in coins in ancient India. And here are more coins. Now comes the legend. Now comes the lettering in Brahmi. So when the legend comes, we can definitely attribute it to a particular ruler. Here the legend is in Brahmi script. It reads Agnimitrasa. Agnimitasa, which means Agnimitrasa. Sa is a genitive singular in Sanskrit, which means of Agnimitra. So the legend says this is a coin of Agnimitra, and it is coming from Panchala region. So he was definitely a ruler of Panchala. And here comes a coin of Koshambi, which reads Kosabi on the top. You can see very clear. If anybody can read Brahmi, they can read Kosabi. I like to interrupt here and say that some very expert people have joined this group. So this talk is not really for experts. I have designed it for the beginners. I cannot address it to the very expert or the extreme beginner. So I had to just do some mixing here. So please bear with me. Yeah, and here comes a coin with a very beautiful legend. For those who can read, it's very beautiful. It reads Shri Vishakadattasa. So Vishakadatta ruler, Gautami Putasa Vishakadattasa. So this was a ruler who, he says, my mother is Gautami. So during those times, the matronyms were used. Gautami Putra was a very common metronym. Gautami Putra Siri Satakarni, Vasishti Putra Siri Udumavi, Madhari Putra Satakarni. Like that, in the 1st century BC, about 2300 years ago, most of the rulers used their mother's name as their last name. So salute to the ancient mothers. They gave us so many rulers. Yeah. Very interesting thing. And this has been discovered by coins only, mostly by the coins. Of course, inscriptions tell about them. But coins come up with so many rulers and so many names that our knowledge of history is expanded. Here I would like to say that the contribution of numismatics is that they give us so many names of new rulers and new dynasties. And they tell us about how much was the currency in circulation, and they tell us about how much was the metal, the precious metal used in those days. Yeah, and here comes rulers of the Satavahana period, Maharathisa Samanasa. And this name, the name Samana, is also found in Nasik cave inscriptions. There are big caves at Nasik where these inscriptions are there, and then they have this name of Siri Samana. So it is known from inscriptions also and coins also. The inscriptions, the epigraphy and numismatics corroborate with each other to build up our history. And now we come to the golden age. Here are some very beautiful coins. This is a great double stater of Kushana king Vima Kadaphysis. And the ruler Vima is seated on a throne facing front, looking right. And the Shiva on the back with his bull, looking right. And the Shiva is holding a trident. On one side, the legend is in Greek, Ummo Kadaphysis. And on the reverse is legend in Kharoshti Lipi, which is read from right to left. There were two most important scripts in India. One was Brahmi and one was Kharoshti. So Brahmi was read from left to right. Kharoshti was read from right to left. Kharoshti means Khara is donkey and Hoshti is lips. So anything that comes out of donkey's mouth is Kharoshti. So there was some group of people who would look down upon Kharoshti and say that it is the donkey script and Brahmi is the god script. So the donkey script was normally, I wouldn't call it donkey script, yeah, the Kharoshti. The Kharoshti was normally used in Pakistan. And now we know that in Pakistan, the number of donkeys is very, very high in Pakistan. They were exporting some donkeys to China. That's what I've heard. I'm not very knowledgeable about it. But I mean, the history just connects. And here is a beautiful coin of the Kushana Emperor, Kanishka, with three deities at the back. The three deities at the back are called as Skanda Kumaro Bisago, Skanda Kumar, Vishakha, and Mahasena. These are the three deities at the back. And here is the King Kanishka, just with his half bust. So these gold coins were found in thousands in Pakistan and Northwest India, and also in Punjab. So they became a very important currency during the 1st century in the Christian era. And in the 4th century came the Gupta emperor. The Gupta empire was founded by Samudragupta, as everybody knows. And his son Chandragupta did miracles and had very, very big empire. This Chandragupta is different than the Chandragupta Maurya. The Maurya was in 3rd century BCE, and this Chandragupta is in 4th century AD. And these particular coins belong to Kumaragupta, the son of Chandragupta, the grandson of Samudragupta, which shows a hunting scene where Kumaragupta is seated on an elephant. And he is hunting a lion with his bow and arrow. And the reverse is a goddess Durga seated on lion. And the legend here is in Brahmi, reading Sinha Vikrama. So beautiful Brahmi legends on these coins. And this was really our classical golden age. The gold coins were found in big hoards. There was a hoard found in Bharatpur by the Maharaja of Bharatpur in early 19th century. They had 1800 gold coins. There are many, many hoards found with 1000 gold coins. So there were definitely gold everywhere in that period. You can see this Abhishek Lakshmi on one of the beautiful Gupta gold coins. And Kumaragupta feeding some fruit, some grapes, perhaps some grapes to the peacock. Peacock was the Vahana of Kumara, that is the son of Shiva, Kartikeya. So Kumaragupta, the name was given after Kartikeya. So peacock was his very favorite bird. You can see Kumaragupta riding the horseman, and on the reverse is seated is Lakshmi, or the goddess, or the queen consort. And she is feeding some worm or some fruits to the peacock. The peacock is little off plan, but on some other coin we know it. And as the time passes, now we come to the 6th century AD, as the time passes, the coins start becoming cruder and cruder. They are not as beautiful as the earlier coin. They were definitely used as money. So beauty was not that important for that ruler. So this belongs to the Bengal ruler called as Shashanka. And then Islam arrived in about 10th century AD, and we find many, many Islamic coins, and then they never look back for 800 years. So this is a very nice, very beautiful looking double tanka of Ghayash Shah from Malwa, the Malwa Sultans. They were also called as Mandu Sultans. They ruled at a place called Mandu. And they have poetical inscription on this coin saying Maghrabi, means the eastern and western realms. And another very nice coin from Bengal Sultans. This belongs to Jalaluddin Muhammad Shah. His earlier name was Raja Ganesh. So Raja Ganesh is written on the top. Here, Raja Ganesh is written. And here is the lion. So this is a very famous lion tanka from Bengal. Here are the arches of Mandu. This is from the fort of Mandu. The arches are also in mehrabi shape, and coins are also in mehrabi shape. So this mehrabi shape was adopted from the architecture of Malwa. Islam reaches deep South India, and we also find coins from Madurai in the name of Madurai Sultans. Their founder was Ahsan Shah. So here is the legend is Ahsan Shah. 735 is the date seen. Al-Rahman Khalifate is written on the left. And here is written Ahsan Shah 735. So Islam spread its wing all over India. After the Sultanate period, the Mughal Empire came. I could have a full lecture on Mughal coinage, or I can have many, many lectures on Mughal coinage for 24 hours. That is such a vast subject. But I am just showing you some highly important coins. So here is a coin of a zodiacal mohar of Jahangir of Gemini sign, the twins. And here is the Aquarius sign. On the reverse is the name of Jahangir, saying Jahangir Shah Badshah Ghazi, Zarab Ajmer. It was very important for Mughal coins to tell the mint name, means where it was struck. So Zarab means struck at Ajmer. Coin of Jahangir Shah Badshah of Aquarius, that is the Kumbha Rashi. So Jahangir says in his autobiography that from this the 13th year of my reign, let coins be struck in my name, and on the obverse let it bear that sign in the where the sun enters the constellation in that month. So like if sun enters Sagittarius, then it will be Sagittarius on the coin. If Sun enters Aries, it should be Aries on the coin. So he will have, if Sun enters Pisces, the Meena Rashi, then it will be Meena Rashi. So such beautiful coins Jahangir made. There is a coin of Karka Rashi also, a Simha Rashi. And he also made coins with his own portrait. It's written on this coin, Chhabi Shah Jahangir. Chhabi means the likeness of his emperor. He has a wine cup in his hand. Though wine was prohibited in Islam, he just, Jahangir was very outspoken, very adventurous. He would have this wine cup in his hand. Some people say it's a bacchanalian cup. It is with the some medicine, like maybe Dashamula Rishta or something. So medicine, he is drinking some medicine, but that's a very fanciful idea. I think Jahangir would like to drink some wine. So this is definitely the wine cup coin of Jahangir. And this is a fabulous cancer coin of Jahangir, struck at Ahmedabad. And it has a poetical couplet at the back. Zar Ahmedabad, Radhat Zevar, Shahenshah, Jahangir, Shah Akbar. So the poetical couplets were also rhyming. There are more than 70-80 couplets of Jahangir on the coins and about a dozen couplets of Emperor Akbar. So architecture, poetry and art, everything is represented on the coin. And you can see the crab. At the back of the crab is the rising sun with its rays around. So the sign of crab, the constellation of crab, the sun entered the constellation of Cancer. In that month, this coin was struck. What a great thing. And here is 1,000 more. This is an unbelievably great coin. 1,000 mohor. It gives me goosebumps. It's 12 kilos in weight. And it is somewhere in Switzerland. And we don't know where it is. It came up in an auction about 20 years ago. So these were given as gifts to the ambassadors of various countries. We have reference in Tuzuke Jahangiri that such a coin was called as, such a coin of 100 tolas called Kauka Betali was given to the ambassador of Iran by the emperor himself. And there was a British traveler, a European traveler called as William Hawkins, who was taken to a cave by Jahangir. And he narrates in his Voyages of William Hawkins that there were two great caves. One was full of gold, one was full of silver. And there were 1,000 coins weighing 10 tolas. There were 10,000 coins weighing 20 tolas. And there were 5 coins weighing 1,000 tolas. He gives a complete list. I am just giving you arbitrary numbers. He gives a complete list of them. So those caves full of coins were there during Jahangir's reign. I hope somebody finds the cave. And here is the legend around it. It says, Abul Muzaffar Nuruddin Muhammad Jahangir Basha Ghazi. And it has beautiful poetical couplets around saying, In Kona Hazar Asht. Means this coin has 1,000 corners. I mean, if there are more than 10 corners, it almost becomes round. So 1,000 corners means it's a round coin. But that's a poetical way of saying it. And now we come to Hindu coins from South India. This is a coin from Krishna Raja Vodiyar, from the ruler of Mysore. It has Venkateshwara. And it is said that when he conquered, when he did a big victory somewhere, he came back to the Lord Venkateshwara and struck these coins in 8 grams weight. And 800 were struck. And he did a Kanaka Abhisheka to the Lord Venkateshwara. And we come to Maratha coins. This coin belongs to the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. It says Chhatrapati on the obverse. It says Sri Raja Shiva on reverse. Very, very iconic historical coins. And previously, we thought that there were only 3 or 4 species known in world, but slowly collectors started finding them. I think about 60 or 70 coins are known in world. Then came the princely states in India. There were many, many states called Badode state, the Jaipur state, the family of Gwalior, which is even now there, the family of Jaipur, the family of Travancore, the family of Mysore. All these were the princely states in India, and this particular one belongs to Maharaja Sayaji Rao Gaikwad. It says Badode Van Mohor. And the date is 1959 Samvat. So about 1900 AD. So we are progressing in time, and we are coming to the end of this talk. And here is coins of Bikaner state. It says Maharaja Adhiraj Sri Ganga Singh Bahadur, one more of Ganga Shahi, and it says Jai Jangal Dar Badshah was his emblem. These are the Bikaner coins. And here comes a very beautiful coin of the Sikh Guru. Guru Gobind Singh is seated, and there is Karbala in front. The very famous coins made in 1885 somewhat. It was struck at Lahore. Though the faces are not clearly visible, but these coins are hardly 2 or 3 known in world. They are great coins. After this, all these princely states and independent kingdoms were either annexed to British Empire or conquered. The British got stabilized in India. At the beginning, during the time of Aurangzeb, they struck their own coin in the name of Queen Mary and King William. And this was during the time of Aurangzeb, and this coin reads Sikazaddar ad-Durran King William and Queen Mary. So this coin was struck during the time of Aurangzeb, and he got so unhappy that he banned striking of these coins, and British couldn't strike coin for another 100 years. But afterward, they really consolidated their empires, and India was taken over by the British. They had coins. Now you are from Chennai. This is a Chennai chapter, so I am specially showing you this coin from Chennai. This is a coin from Madras Presidency. It is denominated as half pagoda. It's quite big looking. It's like it's twice the size of our 1 rupee. No, I would say it is 3 times the size of our 1 rupee. It was stuck on a Spanish dollar. So it is about 40 millimeters. And these coins were very, very popular in South India. There is a Gopuram at the back. See, this is the same Gopuram and the deities as found on the coins of Krishna Devaraya and other Indian rulers. So the British copied the Indian designs because they felt that only the same design would be applicable. Same design would circulate very well. So nice coins from Chennai, Madras Presidency. And here are more British coins. Now they brought improved machines and struck coins with machinery, and struck them very, very precisely with perfect weight standard. So this is a 10 rupee coin, a 5 rupee coin, and a 1 mohar of the East India Company and Queen Victoria of the British Empire. Then came the banknotes. I promise to pay the bearer. I don't give you money. I only promise to give you money. Yeah. So this is 1,000 rupees. You have to look into your closet if your grandfather has kept one. This 1,000, this note is only looks like a 1,000 rupee note, but you can get lakhs of rupees for it. It's very important for coin collectors. This belongs to George V, George VI, the Shashta George, and issued by the Reserve Bank of India at that time. And medals also were made. Here is a medal from Awadh, and there is a medal from Indore. Praho me sholabhya kartu prarabdha. What beautiful Sanskrit legends. This is the king looking at you is Wajid Ali Shah of Awadh with his emblem at the back. So coins, medals, tokens, seals, everything comes in coin collecting. And here are new banknotes and new coins of India. And what would follow this is only credit card. And our coins are reduced to credit cards now. And Maybe what will follow later is cryptocurrency. So the currency takes its shape. This is the last slide I'm showing you. This is the end of my talk. So thank you very much. Thanks for patient listening. If there are any questions, I can take them. Yeah. So anybody wants to ask a question can unmute themselves, or the host can unmute people.
Sir, thank you very much for a very interesting talk. I have
Yeah.
3 questions. One is, why are there so many elephants in the earlier Gupta Janapada coins? Number 2, the recitation of the coin with the crab. I think that was very beautiful. I'd love to hear it again and the meaning if possible. And
Yeah.
the third is, what was the value of the pagoda coin in today's currency? Meaning not how much a collector would pay, but how much would a pagoda be? How much would it buy in those days?
Pagoda. There are references there that pagodas were used for mercantile transactions. So they were also called as hone. So normally a mohar which was 3 times the weight of pagoda of 11 grams was equal to 15 rupees.
Of today's currency?
No, 15 rupees of the British currency.
Okay.
So that was a silver rupee. So today's currency, we can't equate it with today's currency. So that time 64 copper coins would be equal to 1 anna, 1 rupee, and 15 rupees would be equal to 1 mohar. So that's how it translated.
So you can't give a corresponding to say that one pagoda of the 17th century is equal to, say, 1,000 rupees today.
It's very difficult because it changed so much from year to year. Every 10 years, its value will be different. Like this mohar, which I told you was worth 10 rupees even in British period, was worth 15 rupees in British period, was worth 10 rupees in Mughal period. So it kept on changing.
Okay.
It's like fluctuating value of silver and gold, fluctuating value between dollar and rupee. Yeah.
And can you explain that that poem? It sounded very beautiful.
Yeah, there are many poems on coins. Like there are coins of Noor Jahan. We said, Ba Hukum Shah Jahangir, Aptasad Zevar, Banam Noor Jahan Basha Begum Zar. Means by the order of Jahangir, gold attained 100 times beauty. But when the name of Noor Jahan was put on it. So such poetical couplets were used only by Mughals. They were great. Of course, there were some very nice poetical couplets used by the Gupta emperors also, but we cannot relate to them. Samarashata Vitata Vijayi. I mean, it's very difficult to understand it and relate them in modern terms. Yeah.
And why so many elephants in the earlier coin?
Yeah, elephant is the symbol of majesty. That is the king. The king is the elephant. Yeah, the most we find the most elephants on ancient period. The second most is bull. The third most is horse. Yeah.
Thank you.
Something which is mighty. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We will send you a copy of all the wonderful comments that are pouring in our chat box. We have Mr. Kavan Rath suggesting if the dead man symbol could be a crude version of Shrivasta.
Which symbol?
The Shava that you had mentioned, the dead man symbol.
Crude symbol of Shrivasta came very late. It was on the chest of Vishnu. So it came very late in iconography. Maybe in 1st century AD it came. Yeah.
If there are any more questions, you can kindly unmute yourselves.
Hello.
Hello.
See.
Hello. I'm Mrs. Sunita Madhavan. I found your lecture extremely interesting and highly informative. I would like to say that Hulsh and Venkaya, the epigraphists from the south, they had in fact authored many papers on South Indian coins. In your lecture, the highlights were mostly northern India. They have written a lot of articles, one of which will be the coins of Tipu Sultan. In that, Tipu Sultan also, like Jahan, he had issued coins naming the planets, the stars. That was a speciality with the Tipu Sultan. And Vijayanagar has a lot of elephants and as well as bulls as symbols on their coins. And there are many papers authored by Venkaya and Hulsh on South Indian copper coins, coins of Vijayanagara, Danish coins from Tranquebar, and then Madura coins, the Madura Sultan coin. So these are the additional points I would like to make. And there were a clan known as Yadu Devas in the north who had issued Kartikeya coins. They are very famous for that. Muruga with a peacock. They had...
Yaudeya.
Yeah. So that is also there. So these are the points I wanted to make. And
Yeah,
a Gupta coin was a Gupta coin was also found in South India because they had come as far as Pitapuram when they expanded their empire. So that is an additional information, not only in North India, but also in South India, Gupta coins had been found. And research on this was made by Venkaya. When Thurston requested him to give some clarification on such coins. The Guptas, in fact, remodeled the Pallava design to be circulated in South India, in that part of their empire.
Yeah, thanks for the information. Yeah, I mean, there are lots and lots of South Indian coins. I mean,
Yes.
we cannot 20 lectures only on South Indian coins. There are so many of them. If you take Tipu Sultan, it could I can show you 100 slides on Tipu Sultan. So the Indian coinage is so vast, it is unbelievable, and that is why people like to collect them. Yeah.
And Sher Shah was the one first to introduce rupiah.
Sher Shah was the one. Sher Shah is credited with the
by
first.
Mughal. Mughal followed his monetary system.
Yes, of course.
Shah's monetary system.
I have a question. Nice talk. Thanks for the lot of information. Newly I am collecting from 1985, but I am not familiar with North Indian coins. So today I learned a lot of things from you. Thank you. I know you remember me. I am Raman Shankaran from Chennai.
Yes, very much.
Then a small correction. There is a coin you showed, Vijayanagar, Krishna Sri Venkateswara. That coin issued by Krishna Devaraya for Tirumala. He donated 1,000 coins. Yeah, but by mistake you told that is for Udayar coin.
It is yet disputed. There are some people say Krishna Raja is Krishna Raja Vodiyar. Some people say Krishna Raja is Krishna Devaraya. So it is both opinions are running right now.
There is an inscription is there. There is a stone inscription is there. He donated 10,000 coins to Venkateswara exclusive for that there may be this coin also from that.
Would be.
That coin is also called as Torana. Venkateshwara standing under the Torana. That is very famous. So it is definitely Krishna Devaraya, not Krishna Deva Udayar coin.
On the other hand, population of elephant those days are very high. you can find Sangamej, Chera, Chola, Pandya, all coins having elephant.
Yeah.
Recently, one book has published by Mr. Sitaraman, illustrated more than 2,500 coins of South India, all different. First Pallava coins, 250 different coins is listed. Only Pallavas. I have a question. There is Vishnu Gundian, Pallavas, and Sadhavana coin issued 14 metal. What is the origin? Anything you have, any explanation has made about that? Any study has made how that 14 metals are made? I don't know.
Oh, there are huge studies on metallurgy of coins. 14, I think that was the natural metal found in earth in that form.
No, you cannot.
Could be.
No, you cannot make because it contains tin, iron, silver, copper, and little bit of gold.
There are trace elements always in coins. Whenever I check coin in with metallurgical analysis, I find 27 different metals in the same coin. Yeah, so, there are lots of studies going on in this. So it's a very advanced field, and we use spectrographic analysis. We use all different metal techniques of detection, and many times we find that that kind of metal with particular trace elements will come from a ore from a particular mine.
Oh, okay.
Even that much, that level of study has been made.
I always wonder Pallava 14 metals. Yeah. Thank you. It may be natural. Thank you.
Hello. Many of the North Indian coins use the Ujjain symbol.
Ujjaini symbol, yeah.
Yes. So can you please explain that?
Ujjaini symbol is a symbol with a cross with 4 circles around at the 4 corners.
Yeah.
So it is found on all Ujjaini coins. So that is why the name was given to him, the Ujjain symbol. But later on, it is also found on Satvahana coins. It is found on coins of Haryana. It is found on coins of Uttar Pradesh. So it became a global symbol. So it probably indicates crossroads or something. It is a very mysterious thing. There is no one opinion about it. Oh, you got the picture there. Oh, very, very advanced. Oh my God. Yeah. You can give the next lecture. Yeah. So here is a Ujjain symbol. So the meaning is unknown, but it probably indicates 4 cities and a crossroad thing. So whatever it is. Later on, this Ujjain symbol with a orb on one of the arches, one of the circles, was used as a dynastic emblem by Satavahanas.
Satavahanas also issued lead coins.
Satavahana issued everything, lead, silver, copper, but not gold.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's call it a day.
Sir, we have one last question from a viewer on YouTube. They want to know something about the Chola coinage, sir. If you could mention something about the Cholas and their contribution to coinage.
Yeah, Cholas coins, there is a big contribution by the Cholas also. There are, in the ancient period, there are coins of Sangama Pandyas, Cholas and Cheras being available from different South Indian places. And they are known in huge numbers. And there are also in later period, the Raja Chola has got gold coins also. They were struck by punchmark techniques. They are also found in Tamil Nadu. They are found in Sri Lanka also. And that was a huge supply of gold there. So the Chola coin is important. Yeah. Next time I can do a talk on South Indian coins.
Sri Lanka used also Rajaraja Chola's octopus lamp in their coin. Sahasamalla did it.
Yes, very much. Very many.
And in the case of Rajendra Chola, the seal on Tiruvalangadu plate, that seal design was used in his coinage as well. So the same design on the seal of the Tiruvalangadu copper plates was found in his coins. issued subsequently.
That's very normal. Means all the rulers, they have a family symbol. Like the Pandyas will have fish. The Cholas will have some particular symbol, elephant or lion. So once they have that emblem, it will appear on their coins. It will also appear on their copper plate seals. It will appear on their ceilings in mud. It will appear everywhere.
Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiger along.
About Chola coins, small information. In Pallava coins, there is no king name, only king's title. There is no direct name of the king. First gold coin issued by the Cholas, Rajaraja Cholas. Then he also issued his title also. But many coins are reported in Rajendra Chola title. Few coins with the name of Rajendra, but many titles are issued. More than 12 different titles are so far reported about Chola coin. South Indian first gold coin issued by Rajaraja Chola.
Pallava coins also have ship as a symbol. Maybe Mahabalipuram was having roaring trade with the other parts of the region.
Yeah, I think there is too much. I am very impressed with the interest and you got, all of you have got, and the knowledge you have got. Yeah, on every little topic, like Ujjaini symbol, we can have a big discussion. On ship, we can have big discussion. Ship motif appears on many, many dynasties. On lion, we can have discussion. On elephant, we can have discussion. So,
in fact, Mr. Hemachandra Rao, who's got this maritime museum, has a whole range of coins which are connected with maritime history. So it includes ships, it includes waterways, it includes everything to do with maritime history. And it was wonderful that you connected architecture, art, and poetry to coinage and brought an entire gamut and perspective to your talk. Thank you so much. If there are no more questions, I request the vote of thanks.
Hemachandra Museum, you can find ship in Pachima coin and one Pallava coin.
Yes.
He converted his home to a museum, maritime museum. He displayed a Panchmar coin with beautiful ship. Then one Pallava coin with the ship, copper coin.
Sir, will you please tell something about your newly released book, sir? What is new in your new research, sir?
I have the new release book. Its name is Archaic Coinage of Godavari Valley and the Deccan. So I have taken only Panchmark coins which were found on the banks of Godavari right from its origin, right at Nasik. And then the Godavari flows through Vidarbha in Maharashtra, then to Telangana, then to Rajamundry, and to the Bay of Bengal. So, and on all these banks, a particular type of coinage was known. So I found about 500 different types, and each type has many, many variations. The book has about 1,500 pictures, and the coins can be connected to megalithic period, that is about 5th, 6th century BCE. So you have to read the book. Yeah, it's 448 pages and it's available everywhere.
Just going back to basics, if I may ask, being a chartered accountant, how did you get interested in coins?
Oh, it's all money. Chartered accountants are interested in money, no? So I was dealing with new money. Then I got interested in old money, started reading books, attended some talks like that by somebody and got very fascinated. Then collected coins, and then I studied them very hard and did BA, MA, and PhD, everything.
Fantastic.
So that's how I progressed. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I got five gold medals from the Nagpur University for my MA degree. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really amazed that people have so much knowledge. The people who have joined the chat, they have joined this talk. They have so much knowledge. I thought it was supposed to be for beginners, so I did a different kind of presentations. Next time I can do one for the experts, and we can discuss the poetries on coins and their combinations and their meter and everything we can discuss. Yeah. So nice talking to you. It's my pleasure. And I'm again thank the Indian National Trust for Art, Culture and Heritage. You are doing a great job. We are very proud of INTACH.
Thank you, sir. If there are any more questions, we will have time for one more question, if there are any.
I think a session on poetry in coins would be absolutely fantastic, sir. I'd really love to hear that at some point in time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
It is my honor to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of INTACH. So first of all, thank you so much for agreeing to do this talk for us. It was extremely interesting. You have taken us from Greece to the Mauryan Empire, to the Magadha, to Avanti, and then to Vidarbha, to the Satavahanas, the Kushanas, the Guptas, and then the Islamic influence in South India, the princely states, and finally to how the British influenced us and our coinage. It has been a wonderful journey to tread this with you, and you made it sound so interesting, and the presentation was extremely interesting and educative. To sum up the talk, we went through the history of coinage from Lydia, which was around the 700 BCE, and we ended up with cryptocurrency. What we dealt in between were coins, medals, tokens, seals, and banknotes, and we have seen some exquisite poetry that have been part of the coinage history, and how art and architecture has been a wonderful part of the same. We saw how different cultures and different dynasties had their own importance to their own coinage. Like, for example, we knew that the Islam always made it important to mention the place of striking of that coin, and we get a lot of history from that. This was one of the most important points that we've seen today, that each coin in each dynasty gives us that much more history and that many more artistic facts that we can take from a simple coin as we know it today. So once again, thank you very much for agreeing to do this talk. If any of you who are interested in joining our mailing list, kindly send us an email to INTACH Chennai, which is INTACH @gmail.com, and we will add you to the mailing list. If you would like to become members, please mention this on that mail that you will be sending us. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.